Hello and welcome to Healthier Habits. I'm Brian Bessey. This is the podcast where I adopt a healthier habit every week and give you all the details. And for this week, we will be exploring, or I guess I will be exploring, the world of bicycling. I also have here with me my dearest friend, Sam Gossman.
Hello, it's actually Gossman. I still hate my last name either way, so you can call me Gooseman if you want.
So, for the next week, I will only ride my bike to go to the places I need to go. If I need to go to class, I will be bicycling. If I need to get some milk at the store, I will be bicycling. If I need anything at all, I will have to ride my bike to do it. So basically, I'm replacing my car with my bike. But to begin this podcast, I would like to read you some quotes about bicycling.
Bicycling, that's some excellent pronunciation there.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Nothing compares to the simple pleasure of riding a bike. Do you know who said that? Even though you can see it right there.
It was probably John F. Kennedy.
Oh, you got it. You got
Wow.
it. Yeah, actually, famously, he actually wanted to ride a bike through Dallas, but the FBI said no. It said that the car was going to be a lot safer.
Wow.
Yeah, so it just proves to you that bikes... Bikes don't kill you. Bikes don't kill you. And then second quote here. As a kid, I had a dream. I wanted to own my own bicycle. When I got the bike, I must have been the happiest boy in Liverpool, maybe the world. I lived for that bike. Most kids left their bike in the backyard at night. Not me. I insisted on taking mine indoors, and the first night, I even kept it in my bed.
Wow, that is some close companionship with a mechanical machine.
Yep, that is John Lennon. Actually, famously, a lot of people don't know this, on every single Beatles album, there is a small, tiny little bike. It's since he loved bikes so much, he would put them in there. Yeah, every single one.
Is that a fact?
Yeah, every single Beatles album has one. Yeah,
that's true.
Yep.
Completely?
Yep.
Utterly true.
Yeah, his second wife, Yoko Ono, her middle name was Bicycle. Yoko Bicycle Ono. Yeah, Yoko Ono even means bicycle.
Wow. In what language?
In Yoko Ono language.
Her own language.
Is it Japanese?
I don't know.
Yoko Ono. Anyway, next quote. Learn to ride a bike. You will not regret it if you live.
Wow.
Mark Twain. Huckleberry Finn himself. Yep.
It's very dangerous riding a bicycle.
Yeah, actually, famously, he did die on a bicycle.
Really?
These were his last words.
His last words.
His last words.
Right after he began to learn and subsequently died on the job.
He foretold his own downfall.
Maybe that's why he was such a good writer. He was prolific.
Probably. Yeah. Right. Okay, last quote. Bicycling is a big part of the future. It has to be. There's something wrong with a society that drives a car to work out in a gym.
I think that's pretty valid.
Yeah.
Anything from Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Exactly. How did you know?
I'm
You're
psychic.
so good at this game.
Psychic.
Yeah, actually, that's a really good point because it's really good for your health and other things that we will get into. But from these quotes, as you can see, like bikes impact the world and everybody, of course, even on campus, we see everyone on their bikes. But we should probably start from the beginning if we're going to embark on this thing.
The very start.
I got a little script here. So it was in 1817 when the German inventor Baron Karl von Dreis, or that was the same thing, von Dreis, invented the first proto-bike, the Draisine. Oh, that's his name. I just realized. Also known as a dandy horse.
Dandy.
Yeah, it shares the same basic characteristics of a modern bicycle, like 2 wheels and steering, and that is about it.
Oh.
Yeah, the dandy horse is the first 2-wheeled method of human-powered transportation and was primarily used on pavement. But soon after they were introduced, they were prohibited due to pedestrian interactions.
Prohibited.
Yep, even in 1817 has not changed. 200 years later, more than 200 years later, pedestrians still hate bicyclists. So,
Yep.
Yeah. But they were a bit tricky to manufacture. This is a really big important thing because the way it worked is you would kind of just like push. You put your feet on the ground.
Oh, like a skateboard?
No, it's like you're running, but you have something in between your legs.
Okay.
Yeah, it was kind of like an awkward thing. So it was hard to manufacture because you had to measure the stride of the rider.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing only the rich and important people had it.
Yeah.
Really wasn't
the Illuminati.
the Illuminati of the 1870s.
Yep.
No, it's like actually that's kind of interesting too because right now, I mean, like to invest in like a car, like that would cost a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
And then to like get like a bike, you can get those for like $10-20. You can get a nice one, especially here in Laramie. From being like a student, you could probably find one.
Oh yeah.
It'd be a lot cheaper. You save gas and everything. But I'll get into that next episode when I talk about my reactions to this whole only being on a bike for a week.
The entire ordeal.
So then about like 30 years later, 40 years later, in 1858, pedals were first added to the front wheel of another prototype called the Velocipede.
Ooh, like centipede.
It sounds like velociraptors.
Yes, Velociraptor centipede. That is a bicycle.
Velocipede, yeah. This machine is the grandfather of all unicycles, bicycles, and even dicycles, which is also a Segway.
Paul Blart Mall Cop.
Yep.
That's all I have to say.
Speaking of Segways, in 1869, solid rubber wheels replaced iron velocipede tires, and the term bicycle was first used. 1870s, you had the high-wheeled penny farthing bicycles.
Farthing?
Yeah, so those are the ones with like the huge wheel, and then they had a little tiny one, and you'd have to like climb up on it.
Yeah, I've seen those in like parades.
Even here, there's a guy on campus
I've
who
seen that guy.
has those. I haven't seen him this year yet, but I saw him last year. In 1885, John Kemp Starley of Coventry, England, he introduced some like safety features with a bicycle, like a chain drive, all this sort of stuff, handlebars, pedals, kind of just making it in that diamond framed configuration, basically a modern day bicycle, the shape of it, and then that still persists today. 1890s, the removable pneumatic, is that how you pronounce it?
Pneumatic, yes.
Pneumatic. Removable pneumatic tires filled with air, so instead of like solid rubber tires, that would probably make you want to die.
Yeah, that would give you some rock hard legs.
Yeah. These ones filled with air. In the 1890s, I can see is 1800s was really the time for the bicycle. Actually, this is really interesting too. I didn't really get into a lot of this, but bicycles really have a history with women's rights. Because in, let's just read this here, 1896 to 97, you had women's fashions begin to reflect the need to move and breathe, marketing the beginning of the end of stiff corsets and launch bloomers and cycling skirts. So, and then
cycling skirts.
I couldn't remember who said it. I think it was B. Anthony, Susan B. Anthony, I think is her name. She said something about the bike. Which I didn't include as a quote because I'm dumb. Yeah, but she was just basically saying that it did a lot for women's emancipation. Kind of just, you couldn't ride with a corset.
It gave them a reason to sort of try and get out of that rut that was restrictive clothing.
Right. It just gave them, or at least the community, the world, a reason to maybe be less restrictive on the restrictive clothing. So let me just read this quote here I just found. Let me tell you what I think of bicycling, or bicycling. She pronounced it bicycling, but I'll say bicycling for you guys and gals. I think it has done more to emancipate women than anything else in the world. It gives women a feeling of freedom and self-reliance. I stand and rejoice every time I see a woman ride on a wheel, the picture of free, untrampled womanhood.
Wow. I had never realized that was such a staple in women's rights.
Yeah, me neither. I was really impressed by that. But anyway, ending the 1800s, we had the 1900s with the first Tour de France, which is obviously a famous bicycling race. In 1917, mass production was underway, turning the bicycle from a novelty to an affordable personal transportation, which is a huge change in what bicycles are today. In 1963, the Schwinn Stingray is released, which began this revolution in bicycle design. And in 1970, the 10-speed road bicycles became the rage. And actually, with the 1973 oil embargo, actually made bicycling to commute more attractive.
Of course,
here in the United States. So, but besides that, you can see I ended at 1970. We really haven't improved on the design in 50 years, really. When I researched it, it was mostly like, hey, here's an automatic one. Here's one you don't have to pedal. But I feel like that's just a motorcycle. And that's not what I'm going for here.
Yeah.
Because like a bicycle can do can have many health benefits.
Oh, yeah.
For you, rather than like just riding on a bike. Obviously, that takes gas, and you have to really take care of that.
Yeah.
A bike, obviously, you have to take care of it.
Yeah.
But like, let's say
you can leave it outside.
You can leave it outside. If
it
it dies, you can get a new one.
Yeah, you can
possibly.
get a new chain.
But anyway, we'll just go on to the next segment here: health benefits. Cycling is a healthy, low-impact exercise that can be enjoyed by people of all ages, and it is cheap and good for the environment.
Yeah.
So instead of driving your car to work, or like Bill Nye says, driving your car to, what's it called?
Working
Half Acre?
out. Yeah, the gym, Half Acre.
Which, I mean, it'd be impossible to find parking anyway, so I really don't see anybody driving there. But if you're going out of college and you're going to Denver or whatever, instead of, maybe driving there, find your local gym and then maybe bike there.
Yeah.
Instead, that might be a little better for you, and it actually might be better for your wallet too.
Oh, yeah.
But let's see here. Riding to work or the shops is one of the most time-effective ways to combine regular exercise with your everyday routine. And it is estimated that 1 billion people ride bicycles every day.
Wow.
Right. That's a lot of people. That's 1/7 of the population. I'm guessing a mass majority of that would be, this is my guess, is that like in very high populated cities and towns, mostly, in like China and in that region of Asia with large and compacted cities. I mean, I'm guessing I've been to New York. That's the closest I've been to.
Me too.
Like, okay, so like no one owns a car there.
Exactly.
It's just all taxis, and it's just like just walk or take a bike or do the subway. So, I mean, like with the overpopulation of the earth, you'd think bicycles are just really gonna rule everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But I'll just go into more detail here. Cycling is low impact, it's less strain on your bones, your body in general. So like I said earlier, people of all ages, unless you have some sort of I wouldn't want to say disability, but something that impacts you where you cannot ride a bicycle if you do not have an impairment. This is a great way to just have some regular exercise. It's also very easy, and you can take it at your own pace. Take it at your own pace. If you're really going for it, you can do the Tour de France, and you can really get into bicycling and really get fit. Or if you're just going to class, just bike.
Yeah, I mean, even going to class, like I remember last semester, or I guess 2 semesters ago, I was in marching band, and I rode my bike to all my classes, and my legs got pretty fine. So.
Well, I can't wait for my legs to get pretty fine in 1 week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, actually, I should mention this too. I've been kind of cheating with this. I live over here at the UW apartments, and I bike to class every single day already. So I kind of know what's going on here. But for this next week, I'm really going to hone in on it and just kind of go for it.
Yeah.
So like I said before, if I have to get milk, if I have to do anything, if I have to go to Walmart, and for you Laramie people know, Walmart's a ways out there, I have to take my bike.
Yeah, you might want to go to Ridley's if you can.
Right,
if you can afford to not go to Walmart.
No, yeah.
Maybe just one day make the trek to Walmart just to see how it is.
Anyway, it is also good for strength and stamina. Increases that, blah, blah, blah. It's as intense as you want. It's a fun way to get fit. Here on campus last year, we are both sophomores.
Yeah.
But last year, when I actually got to ride my bike, it was amazing. It's honestly a lot of fun. If you haven't done it yet, or if you're kind of iffy on buying a bike, especially if you live in the dorms, you're like, I don't know if I want to get a bike locker. That's like $500.
Yeah.
That's something crazy.
I don't know if I should say this on podcast, but I don't recommend the bike locker.
Hey, that's your own personal opinion.
I suppose so.
That's like your opinion, man.
Yes, I did get one, and then it got snowed over, and my key broke off in the lock.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know about that.
Yes, and so I had to pay for a replacement key.
Which is like $60, right?
It's around there. It's not
Jeez,
quite that
man.
much, but still, it's irritating.
Yeah.
And I barely ever used it. I just put my bike under the sheltered area where the bike racks are by the dorms. So
Yeah, and also I never had a bike lock, and I just left mine outside, and I never broke a key or had anything crazy happen, really. Actually, I think my bike's in better condition than it is now. Just like from being over there in the dorms, I think it's completely safe. I mean, I've heard there are a lot of bike stealing on campus.
yeah,
so
I've never
obviously,
seen it, but
just an advisory. We're going to do this later, but just an advisory, make sure you lock up your bike.
oh yeah.
And then, yeah, we'll get into that, but yeah, just make sure you do that. It is also time efficient. If you're driving your car and you're going to, I don't know, someplace downtown, right, where it's like kind of busy, a bit busy-ish, and it's kind of hard to find a parking spot, and you're like, oh, geez, what do I do, right? No, just get on your bike, right? You might save that amount of time of parking. You could just find, one of those bike rack things. You just hit it right on there.
Or even like a pole, whatever, dude.
A pole, right. Make sure not to do that on campus, though.
Yes.
That will come later, too. There's a UW PD segment we'll get to. But let me just read some more health benefits. Let's see here. The health benefits of regular cycling include increased cardiovascular fitness, increased muscular or muscle strength and flexibility, improved joint mobility, decreased stress levels, improved posture and coordination, strengthened bones, decreased body fat levels, reduced anxiety and depression. I mean, all of these are cans, obviously, right?
Yes.
But a can is a pretty good reason.
Yeah, especially like the decreased stress level. That's always like a good thing for college students.
Yeah,
even anxiety and depression.
exactly.
Yeah,
and I would even argue too, like with physical fitness, I'm guessing everyone has heard of the freshman 15 and the sophomore 15 because I keep on gaining weight too. So. I think riding your bike to all your classes or to whatever you need to do rather than taking your car will definitely improve life in general.
At least a little bit.
Exactly. Let's see here. Steady cycling can burn about 300 calories per hour, if you need to know. If you're trying to lose weight, cycling must be combined with healthy eating, of course, to actually lose weight. The rate of type 2 diabetes in general is increasing and is a serious problem, at least for the United States, and most likely around the world. Lack of physical activity is thought to be a major reason why people develop this condition. Large-scale research in Finland has actually found that people who cycled more than 30 minutes a day had a 40% chance lower risk of developing diabetes.
Wow.
Of course, type 2 diabetes, but yeah. So there are many health benefits to switching over to just cycling everywhere you can instead of being on your car or whatever.
Oh, yeah, and those Finnish people really want you to cross that finish line.
That is hilarious. No, actually, the Finnish, I think it's that whole group up there in the northern Europe are like the most happiest people on the planet. Is like Finland and Sweden. Sweden's up there too, right?
Yep.
I didn't want to look like an idiot and just say like something weird. Anyway, moving on to the third and last segment here. I have some stuff about the UW PD here on campus and what they say about bicycles. I will say too, I found this article on the UW website. And there are quotes on here. I tried researching who exactly, I know who's quoted here, but who exactly took the quotes and wrote this article. Tried figuring that out, and I couldn't get any information.
Wow, you would think that people would put their name on stuff like that. That they compose themselves.
And when they called the UW PD, they're like, oh yeah, it's this one thing. I forgot what it was. It was like a week ago or so, and I was like, oh okay, I'll research that thing. Research that. It's not a thing.
Huh.
So I'm not 100% sure.
Nobody knows.
The facts were there, and I wasn't going to go all the way to UWPD to get the same exact facts.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to use this for now. So the UW Police Chief Mike Samp has said, and this was actually given to us on August 29th, 2018. He says, remember when you are on a bike, you have the same responsibilities as drivers. So you have to obey traffic signs, traffic signals, and ride with the traffic. And you should never ride with more than 2 people abreast in one right-hand lane. Yeah. So
that would
just
be scary.
Yeah.
Riding with 2 people like right there.
Right. Yeah. No. That'd be terrifying.
Yeah.
But yeah, just make sure you're obeying the traffic laws. I find it kind of hard to, especially when you get to a stop sign. It's kind of hard to just go to a physical stop. Yeah. But I'm guessing if you are safe, the UW PD would love that.
Yes.
In general, and I'm guessing in the end you will love that too.
Yes.
Let's see here. Another thing he adds is that bicycles are not allowed on the sidewalks unless there are designated bike paths. So there on campus, you'll see there's many sidewalks there that say no skateboarding, no
dismount zone.
Yeah, dismount zone. So I would make sure to ride on the road. There's a little space there, even though the cars and trucks kind of block the way anyway, which is annoying. That's really nothing that the UW PD can really strictly enforce, and really help you out. But at least you're giving you a lane there. And I totally understand. Last semester, I rode on the sidewalks a lot, especially when there was no one there. And I of course, that's okay-ish. But I mean, if everyone just rode on the road, I feel like everything would work a little bit more smoothly.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, with like skateboarding and things, skateboards and longboards don't work as well on the road.
Yes.
Right?
That is an issue.
So that's a totally different argument.
Yes.
I mean, just honestly, just be smart about it. Don't be don't be dumb. Don't be dumb when you're going on the sidewalks. If you're on your skateboard or longboard or bicycle, if you find yourself on a sidewalk, don't go like 50 miles an hour. Yes. And don't go to that place where it's like the Union and the library, that tiny little corridor. No. How about don't go there? There are so many different areas as like a bicyclist or bicyclist or skateboarderist or longboardist to like go around. Just go around somewhere else. Honestly, again, just use the roads, and that would be greatly appreciated by everybody. Bicycles are encouraged to ride at the same speed as pedestrians in dual-use areas. And most of all, both pedestrians and bicyclists should be aware of their surroundings to help ensure we don't have any conflicts in those areas. So even if you're walking, and I know this might sound like a pain in the butt, but just look out. It's easy to hear skateboarders because you hear that ka-tunk, 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 right? But just make sure you know what's going on. If you're on your bike and you're going real fast and you're about to make that turn, slow down.
Yes.
And make sure
you are silent but deadly.
Yeah, no, exactly. You can go like twice the speed as a skateboarder, but you're silent.
Yes.
Like no, that's a bad idea. So with the UW PD's annual bicycle registration, there's a thing going on Tuesday, September 4th through Thursday, September 6th, where you can register your bike. It will just be open at that time. You can do it at any time at all. It's one fee of $5, but it's just saying that if your bike gets stolen or something happens to your bike, that it can be registered and it'll be through the UW PD database. Those are open from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. in the Simpson Plaza for you to do that, for you to register your bike. Also, UW Police Chief Mike Samp also says bicycle thefts are too common on our campus, and in an effort to reduce the number of thefts, UW PD strongly advises that you register your bicycle. By registering your bicycle, UW PD is able to capture all pertinent information required to increase chances of recovery in the event of a bicycle is taken. The information taken off of your bicycle will allow us to do a nationwide search for the stolen property.
Nationwide,
$5. Yeah,
$5?
Yeah, so I mean, might as well get it if you have the money. If like, just kind of look at your $5 bill. If you're really going to spend that on like a small Nerf gun to annoy your friends with, or have safety for your bike.
Yeah.
Especially one if you spent like $100 or $200 on that thing. That's basically a textbook at that point.
Oh yeah.
That is education. And to guard your educational money on the bike you bought, I mean, $5 is not bad. Not a
Yeah,
bad
that's your
price.
transport to your education.
Right, yeah, there we go. Anyway, so those unable to go to that registration table Tuesday, September 4th through Thursday, September 6th, you can do it anytime afterwards, and it's at the UW PD department here, located at 1426 East Flint Street, and is open up 24 hours a day. Just bring your bicycle to the front lobby, and they will help you out. There is also, if you're looking for bicycle repair at all, so, let's say you're going around and you have a pop tire or your chain just like disintegrates somehow.
Yeah.
The UW's outdoor program provides tools and an area where students can come in and work on their own bicycles.
I did not know that.
Yeah, me neither. I'm thinking about doing this possibly because my bike's been acting up a little bit too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so you can just work on your own bikes. The outdoor program is located in the northeast section of the Half-Acre Recreational and Wellness Center.
Oh, that place with the garage doors, I think, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not sure. I might have to check that out. But yeah, just go over there if you want. Obviously, I don't think they'll do that for you in any way, but if you want to use your own tools and work on your own bike, there you go. And then in addition, the UW Pedestrian and Bike Safety Committee is planning a Bike to UW Day scheduled from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Wednesday, September 26th. On the Simpson Plaza. Several campus entities will provide various items for participation, and the effort will be supported by bike-related businesses. So, yeah, with that being said, that was the end of the part 3 here. I'll just go through it just one more time. For the next week, I will be only on my bike if I need to go anywhere, to classes, to get some milk, to do anything. If I need to go to Walmart, which I probably will just for the funsies of it, I will have to take my bike. That is a promise. And so every single week, I will come out with a new episode, new things I will be doing. I could be going vegan. I could be walking everywhere. I could be meditating. Lots of things I've planned for the next 30 or odd so weeks. So with that being said, I will see you sometime in the next week or so. Hopefully about like Tuesday, I'll upload the next episode. But with that being said, I'd just like to thank you for listening in.
Yeah, and I'd like to thank Healthier Habits and Brian Bessey for letting me sit on this podcast. And it was a good time. So.
All right. Well, we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.